Hi, my name is Kenny K. Royal.
And I'm Anne Hathaway.
I was wondering where the fuck you were going with this.
Writing in my Princess Diary.
That movie's so good.
Giving you some princess pussy.
You know they're making a remake? Not remake.
A remake?
Sequel?
A sequel? Another one?
Well, they're talking about it. They're talking about making another movie to it. Anyway, that's what this podcast is about.
I'm like, what?
You're listening to PopTawk. We're about to get into some things. I want to start off by saying Happy Black History Month to all of my peoples out there. I'm only saying that because of the stories that I want to bring up today.
Is that came with a disclaimer?
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, so I did this Black History thing. What was it? When was my last time working? What's today?
Friday.
Wednesday. On Wednesday, when actually Tuesday night, they came over to me. First of all, let me tell you about how many black people from the door that these two people walked in to where I sit. How many black people they passed, and they came over to me and was like, "Oh, what's your schedule?" And I'm like, 9:30 to 8. And then they were like, "What's your days?" I was like, "I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday." And they were like, "Oh, would you be willing to sit outside?" Because there's like booths for different diversity groups. Mm-hmm. And they were the black one is having his first one. Remember, I told you I didn't want to be a part of it. The first time that bitch asked me.
Yeah.
But then they asked me this time, and they're like, "Would you want to join and sit at the booth from?" I think it was from my time clocking in 9:30 until 2:30. Would I mind sitting there and helping? I was like, "Off the phone."
I will march these bitches to Africa.
But let me tell you, so I'm like, oh, let me try to look a little bit more ethnic. So I put on my little
look a little bit more ethnic. Child, this black ass skin you got, how much more ethnic do you need?
I was like, let me put on my good old Senegalese twist wig, and I put on my little African scarf and wrapped it up and did all that cute shit. And I go up in there, and Alex, my trainer, she was the one she was like the actual person that was hosting it, and I was just helping her. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Kenny, I love this look, but you came in here with this white woman on your shirt," because I had on my Marilyn Monroe shirt.
Oh, well, you just defeated the whole purpose.
I didn't think about it. I was like, listen, what we're not going to do is disinvite Marilyn from the cookout, bitch.
but it's just so hilarious, because you were going out of your way to be ethnic, and then you wear Marilyn Monroe.
I was so done. But anyway, this first story that I wanted to bring up today was this girl that got expelled. I don't know if you see either of these stories I'm going to bring up, but this girl that got expelled from her school because of some racist bullshit that she said. Now I'm going to play this video for you so you can just hear it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to discuss some other shit that happened.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm all the way up. I'm putting it to the mic too.
Nigger. It's freaking America. If I want to say nigger, I'm going to say nigger. I'm going to fucking say nigger because it's America. And I'm going to say that word. Nigger. Fuck niggers. Nigger.
Okay, it'll be different. Okay, if you want to say nigger, that's your prerogative. But she just said fuck niggers.
Yeah.
So that's a whole other thing, bitch.
You took it that it did not need to go.
And just saying it with a smile on her face, like, oh, bitch, there's no weight in these words.
So, the video was released, I think for this, I don't know where the school is, but the name of the high school is Choctaw High School. The girl's name is Molly Rogers, and of course Twitter blasted the fuck out of the bitch.
Of course.
The guy posted up here because he thought she was cute. And somebody else had also posted like some messages between them. And this is like toward the end. This is the end of the messaging, so I don't know what started it, how it went, but the person that Molly was responding to says, "You're wrong. I really just don't agree with you. Your opinions are invalid, sweetie." And then she put it in quotation marks, so I'm assuming that Molly called her sweetie too.
Yeah.
And so Molly says, "I'm sorry, but I can't argue with stupid. We will settle this tomorrow, nigger." And then the girl was like, "I'm Native American."
Like, girl, so I know you're racist.
But let's get the race right.
Right. Oh, I felt so bad because there was this lady in my job who apparently is Native American, but I thought she was Latino. I thought she was a Latina. And so she was like, we were talking, and she was like, "Oh, I know." She's like, "I can understand Spanish, but because her husband's Hispanic." Mm-hmm. She's like, "Oh, I can understand Spanish, but I can't speak it." And I was like, "You can't speak Spanish?"
No, can you?
She was like, "I'm not Hispanic," and she was like, "I'm not Mexican. I'm Native American." And I was like, Girl.
For me to always be able, because sometimes Native American people can't look Latino.
She did, but the thing is with her, I think what really did, because she kind of does, and I guess because she's probably around them a lot, she does her makeup like them, and I think that was my big, because they have a distinct way of doing their makeup.
And if she does her makeup, then what I was going to say is invalid, but I was going to say that a lot of not Hispanic, Native American people have redder skin, undertones, should I say, redder undertones than Hispanic people do. So that's the way that I can differentiate against with them.
She's very, very fair skin.
Okay.
So some of them are darker and some of them are really light, but she's like one of those. It's like you look at her, you really know.
Ambiguous.
Yeah. And so with the way she does her makeup, I was just like, well, there must be a good old chola, But I guess not.
I think that's just from Arizona.
I just felt bad
in Arizona because my aunt, who is black, for the longest time until I came and corrected her, used to wear her makeup in a whole chola fashion, and I was like, honey, this ain't cute to nobody. Let's calm this down.
She's a beautiful woman, but I was just shocked because I thought she was, and I guess because I was just shocked. I don't know. I thought she was, and I felt bad because I was like, "Girl,
I didn't mean to."
I didn't mean any wrong. She thought it was funny. Luckily,
I guess because the only way that would be bad is if you consider being Hispanic bad.
Well, I don't think it's bad, and
I'm saying if she thought it was.
Well, I would hope not. Her husband is Hispanic.
Call me no fucking Mexican,
right? But she was just the way she just stopped. And she just like, I'm not Mexican. I was just like,
I'm sure she gets it a lot.
But I get people giving me all that different type of races they think I am. So I'm used to it. So I was like, girl, it happens to me too. So don't feel any type of way. I wasn't trying to comfort you on your heritage.
Sorry if y'all just heard that loud banging. I was putting my glass down. I tried to do it quietly, but
did you?
But so after the girl said I'm Native American, she says, "Bro, the girl Molly." She said, "Bro, you're fucking stupid. It took you 2 minutes to come up with that comeback. Damn, you're pathetic." And then the girl clapped back and said, "Sorry, I was laughing really hard." And then that was the end of the little picture that she posted. My situation was just like, you really feel some type of way with this word nigger that you just keep throwing out. And I've always said, if you listen to older videos of the older episodes of the podcast, you've heard me say, I don't really care who says nigga. Especially if it's like the way that black people say it. When you're saying nigga as a term of endearment and stuff like that. Yeah, intent.
It's all intent.
If the intent behind it is just you trying to fit in, or you listen to rap music.
Or you feel comfortable.
If you feel comfortable. Because a lot of people, when I moved out here, a lot of like Hispanic people mostly, and then some white people, would say nigga around their black friends because that's how everybody else around you was talking. Why can't I be included with that?
Yeah.
And if that's how you grew up and that's all you heard, to you that's not really a racial slur. To you that's just another, term of endearment. Like, you can use that in a good way or a bad way. But this is clearly her wanting to offend somebody.
She's clearly racist. Yeah. The biggest thing about that, and which really fucks me up, and which a lot of people I think have this mentality, is this bitch she kept saying it's America.
Yeah, it's America.
It's America. Just because it's America, you should say racist shit.
If we go to Spain,
right?
Don't say that shit.
My thing is America. I can say nigga if I want to. And my thing is, bitch, yeah, you can say it, but just be ready for the consequences. People are not going to sit up and just deal with your bullshit just because you white in America.
She feels emboldened because of Trump being in office. Trump got in office, and of course,
bitches got real bold.
Trump got in office, and a lot of people got really bold, and they just have been using this. And what kills me is that, like I said, a lot of shit has been popping off, like racist things I've been seeing since Black History Month started, and I feel like people are just waiting for this month to do some bullshit. She got expelled from school. Well, I don't know if it's exactly expelled, because it just says, soon after the school put out a statement about how she and 2 other kids had been removed from the school. And I can only assume being removed from the school means expelled. They never really said expelled. So I'm just like kind of guessing here.
We're like, it says.
I'm going to read out to you, because the other incident that happened at the school was kind of crazy too. According to Choctaw High School principal Michael James, district officials were made aware of graffiti on the inside of the boys' bathroom stall. The graffiti contained racial, ethnic slurs. I didn't see anything about that besides this story. Yeah. They didn't show any pictures or anything like that of what it showed or what it said. And it says, James says the resource officer launched an investigation and identified the students involved. Those students were removed. And then it goes into this girl. And she got removed too, of course. Which, her page on Instagram was not private before. Now it is. Bitch, no. You had the balls to say it. Stand behind it. That's what my thing is. Don't have the balls to clap off or to pop off and say nigger, 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 fuck niggers and all this shit. And then when shit hit the fan, you want to make your page private. No, girl, you said to deal with it. Girl, sit in the shit, girl.
The thing about life, though, is that you can make your Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook private all you want to. But when you walking down the streets, it ain't private.
It really ain't.
So you can say nigga, nigga, nigga all you want to, but bitch, be ready for the real life clapback. You heard from Twitter. You go say nigga in a black person's face if you want to.
Yeah. Try that shit in person. This is not the slavery days, girl. You ain't gonna get away with that. You said that. Remember that video? I don't know if you've seen it. There was this video that was circulating last year where this guy, it was this girl. This girl was standing in this black dude's face, and she was just going off about how, again, this is America. I can say nigger whenever I want to. And she was like, you porch monkey, you coon. Bitch. She was going off. Just like, she said any racial slur you could about black people. And the black dude just kept on saying, like, yo, you pissing me off. You need to stop. I don't think he said apology. He wasn't looking for the apology, because at that point, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
And I think she had got to, by the time she said something about Tar Baby, he socked her so hard in her face. And then the teacher wanted to run up like, oh, no. Where were you when she was saying all this shit?
You've been listening to this bitch say all this shit. And the thing that fucks me up, because, a lot of people think they can, entitled people, and just some people in general, that they can say whatever bullshit they say, mm-hmm. but like whoever is saying all the shit, but as soon as you clap back, it's a problem. And that's definitely at school, because even at school, if you got into a fight, it wasn't really so much, and they try to act like it was. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really so much about who started it or what started the fight. It's like, oh, you hit them. Yeah. What? But did you see what they was fucking doing?
Because people always like to say the whole violence is never the answer.
Fuck all that.
Yeah, violence may not be always the answer. Because you piss me
off enough. Because no,
but sometimes people don't understand that.
But people push you to that point.
Yeah.
You tell them to stop. You tell them to leave me alone. You give them many opportunities and chances to stop, and they proceed to not stop, and then you proceed to stop them.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you have to throat check a bitch.
You throat check a bitch, and now we the angry black people again.
Yeah.
Now, meanwhile, you just stood here for a good 5 minutes and called me out of my name and every racial slur you could think of and insulted me. But I'm the angry one when I haul off and knock your ass to the floor.
Right. Now we're savages. Right. See, bitch, I wouldn't even bothering you. If you would have stayed in your lane on the other side of the road, bitch, we'd have been fine. The thing is, it's crazy, and that's on both sides or whatever, Mm-hmm. But the thing is, don't hop up in nobody's face. And there's a book called The Invisible Man, which I love.
I thought you were saying there's a book called Don't Hop in Nobody's Face.
It might be.
I mean, there's that book that, girl, watch your face.
Watch your face, girl. But there's a book called The Invisible Man that I love, and I read it when I was in school. And it says, you don't know anybody's danger potential. Mm-hmm. You don't know anybody's danger potential. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know how they feeling today. You don't know just what's going to set them off. So,
especially with these people coming up in school with guns now, but you may want to leave it the fuck alone.
Yeah. So it's just like, don't try it. Just because you think you're having a bad day, that person's day might be worse than yours, and they might take it out on your face. So the best thing to do is to not bother people. Why just coming up to people and talking a whole bunch of shit, talking about, oh, it's America, I can call you a nigga all I want to. All the E's and R's. It's gonna be up on this motherfucking word.
My thing is, though, for the people that want to use the word nigga, because even I don't really use it like that. It's not part of my vocabulary unless it's a part of a story, or it's usually a reason behind it aside from just like throwing the word out there, like you hear in rap songs where it's just like nigga, it's the period to the sentence sometimes.
Yeah, that's not me.
But for people that want to use it, my question is always just like, where are you getting out of using this word? Because aside from using it as a racial slur or to put somebody down, you don't really hear them the people that are doing it in a way that they want to be defended, because it's the ones that use this is America as the reason why they want to use it, usually are not using it to be like the ones that grew up around black people.
They're not trying to be uplifting.
Yeah,
when they're saying it's America, what they're
I
saying,
should be able to degrade you as much as I fucking
this
want to.
America, I'm white. I can oppress whoever I want to. That's what they're trying to say. They're saying, because by saying it in that fucking tweet, in that video, she's like, "This is America. I can say nigga if I want to," which basically saying that this is America. I'm white. You ain't shit because you black. I mean, that's basically what she's saying. Is. So that, like I said, to me, it everything stems in intent. If your intentions are good, I have no qualms with you. You can use the word well, first of all, there's only two types of people that's going to use it. There's the ones that's racist as fuck, like that bitch.
But the ones that are racist as fuck never say nigga. They always say nigger.
They're nigger.
They very much so want you to hear that
that ER to
end.
make sure you know.
Nigger.
He was like, bitch, I ain't your friend. so there's either two people. There's people that's racist as fuck like that, and there's people who grew up around us and feel comfortable enough and has been given the, like, okay, we cool with you saying it, because if they're not one of those two people, they are terrified to say it.
Yeah. Terrified beyond belief, bitch.
Yeah. So there's only two people. So if a person like that, that bitch, she needs to find a safe place. A safe, lonely, secluded place, because bitch is not gonna make it much further in life. She don't love herself, because if she did love herself, she wouldn't do that shit, because she gonna end up in somebody's gutter. And I'm sorry for you, girl.
I got kicked out of high school. There was a story. I didn't take a picture of it or screenshot it, but there was a message that was sent. I don't know who that person was, but they were like talking about how this is something that the parents have taught her, which it usually would have to be.
Which definitely, yeah.
They're like, this is something that the parents have taught her. There have been several times where the school or somebody has called and talked to the parents about what she's been saying and stuff like that at school, and they got mad at the person delivering the message. But I don't know how true that is. That's why I didn't bring it up. I couldn't fact check that, so I left it where it was.
More than likely, but it starts at home. It always starts at home. That's where you learn your basic core values in life. Yeah. If your parents teach you better, because I know me, if I had a child and somebody called me telling me my child is saying racist slurs, my child wouldn't be able to speak right. Right. Okay. You doing what?
I don't know where you got this from. It wasn't from me. Yeah.
No, I would not. And to me, parents, they're teaching. That's how, for instance, the dude that shot up the church. His father got him to do that. Raised him up to hate black people. So much so that he had to run up in there and let loose his aggression on a bunch of people that did do shit to him. Which people that he didn't know.
On that note, though, this leads into my second story really easily about Liam Neeson. Have you heard?
Oh, no. What's going on?
Bitch. I was quite sure you probably was going to hear about this one. But Liam Neeson, this one isn't so much that I think he's racist. I just feel that he could have picked a better venue to say what he said and a different month. If you want to say anything,
pick your moment.
Yeah, he could have said this a different month. So he's been doing press or whatever for his new movie. I forgot what it's called, but it's essentially Liam Neeson has played the same character in the same movies for a couple years now.
I didn't know he had a new movie.
It's something, whatever it's about, is like, I know his son died or something like that, or his son got killed. And
this is a good typecasting.
His son got killed, and he's looking for revenge. He's on a bunch of revenge killing. And somebody asked him, like, how does he get the motivation to do those kind of movies, or like his process behind stuff like that. And he came out and said, hold on, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read it verbatim. Okay. The story that I got. So he was talking, he came with this story about how a friend of his, like, I want to say it was like 20 or 30 years ago, got raped. And he was like, it was some time ago, Neeson had just come back from overseas to find out about the rape. This is him talking. She handled the situation of the rape in the most extraordinary way, Neeson says. But my immediate reaction was, ... There's a pause. I asked, did she know who it was? No. What color were they? She said it was a black person. He said, I went up and down areas with a kosh, which is like a bat or something like that, like a metal heavy item that you use to essentially beat the shit out of somebody. Hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping some, Neeson gestures air quotes with his fingers, black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, so I could, another pause, kill him. And he says, Neeson clearly knows what he's saying and how shocking it is, how appalling, and then it took me a week, maybe a week and a half to go through that. She would say, where are you going? And I would say, I'm just going out for a walk, what's wrong? No, nothing's wrong. And he said, it's awful, Neeson continues, a tremble in his breath, but I did learn a lesson from it when I eventually thought, what the fuck are you doing, But with that, this is why I said, you could have picked a better month. I know your movie's coming out, but you could have helped this story. Like, maybe when she asked you that question, and you were like, okay, well, I know about going for revenge, because I almost made a mistake a few years, a bunch of, like, 3 decades ago. You could have just held that in your head, like, okay, this is Black History Month, though. I may not want to pop off with this, and just say this for March. And have a discussion. Because
I don't think that entire story was necessary. I feel like he's just.
He could have brought, or he could have made it a little bit more narrow and like left out a few details. He could have went into it like a long time ago. A friend of mine got raped, and I just remember walking the streets looking for somebody
wanting revenge. I don't think you need to go so deep into that story. Mm-hmm. But I get he's telling his truth.
Yeah, but that's why I don't think it's racist.
I don't think he's being racist.
I don't know if he's like that today.
Because I don't think that particularly says that he's racist. And the reason why I feel that way, because I don't think that he was doing that just because it's a black person. I think that was just a detail where it's like, it's a black man, so I need to find a black man. So it was just like a detail like that. But at the same time, this is like misdirected anger. Because you just saying, I was walking up and down the streets with a bat hoping to find just any black man to kill.
Any black man to walk down and kill. Like, he wanted so badly for some black person to just hop out and go at him for some reason, for no reason at all. Because unless he was, this is why I feel like it would have been a different thing. He would have been in jail. We wouldn't be talking about him right now. Yeah. If he was one of those people, because there are the actual racists, which is this why I say he's not. The actual racists, I would think, would have gone into these bars or wherever he was circulating at the time and would have provoked the battle. Just to get something going. Because he was walking around just waiting for somebody to do something.
To
and
him.
Of course, because nobody's just really doing shit to do it.
I think that was
he didn't get the opportunity. Thank God he didn't get the opportunity and kill somebody that had nothing to do with it.
I think that was just his own coping. We all, because that's his grieving, his coping. We all do it in different ways. And I've heard people, just, something bad happened or something like happens to somebody they love, and whatever description they give, they just look for people like that, and they just want that type of person to come up just so they can feel like they got some type of retribution. But
but with that, it's just like, okay, how about you wait until they find out who it is? We'll save this anger. Don't save it, but I'm just saying, save this anger for when, like, it comes to the point if they can't find who it is. Which, from what he said in the rest of the story, they did find out who it was, and he left out details because he didn't want to reveal that. Yeah. But they did find out who the rapist was. Find him and whip his ass. Find him and bring that goth or whatever the fuck it's called and whip his ass. You wanted to walk down the streets of Ireland or wherever he's from and wait for somebody to go at you so you could kill this innocent black person who didn't rape your friend, and then that person is still out on the run. Now you in jail for doing some bullshit. Yeah. It wasn't going to help nobody. They didn't help her cope because you were walking outside trying to whip some ass.
No. Because really, what you're doing, you're distancing yourself from her, who was the victim.
Who needed you to be there.
Who needed you. So you could have used mom going on the walk. And she's asking you what's wrong, nothing. Where you probably being emotionally distant, you walking around, finding all this stuff. You could have been there for her. Who was the person who was attacked? Instead of doing all of that. Like I said, there's a whole lot of misdirected anger. I mean,
that's what
I can't.
But of course, Twitter again, the whole internet actually blew up on him about this.
Of course.
And this is again why I said he could have saved this for March. He really could have. If he
He
just
could've-
felt the need to relieve this or to get this truth off his chest. 'Cause I'm sure when you hold something like that in for a while, he probably just has not been able to talk about it. And he just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe a different venue. Not maybe. A different venue. And a different month. But of course, Twitter blew up on him. The whole
I
internet
feel like,
went crazy.
it definitely, especially with a whole lot of, we've been dealing with a whole lot of just prejudice in general since Trump has been in office, you know, and it's been come to the forefront, and a lot of people are angry and combative right now.
Yeah.
It's really not a good time to say something like that. You give anybody any reason to just haul up and say that you're a racist.
Yeah.
And this, especially with all this stuff happening, you don't need to give anybody any reason.
And I think because nobody fact checks anymore, nobody looks deeper into stories. People just take a headline and go with that, which really fucking bothers me.
Not even that.
I try my best not to do that on this podcast.
I went looking for an African American or a black man.
Just to hear that.
That's all. They wouldn't have listened to the rest of that.
And nobody
would have
listened
listened to those keywords.
That it happened 30 years ago. That this is a situation he happened 30 years ago. That he realized his actions, which is that not what you want a racist to do, or somebody that had those kind of thoughts, realized this is stupid. What the fuck am I doing this for? He went and said he got help from some his psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever.
Yeah.
Talked through his shit, and he's a better person for it. He said he realized he was in a dark place at that time. He realized that it was stupid and moved on.
Yeah.
The issue after people were attacking him, everybody, of course, there are people coming to his defense, but the people that were coming to his defense, in my opinion, were irritating me because one thing I don't like is I don't feel like you should be able to tell a black person how to feel about a racist act. Like, we can be upset about what happened even if they didn't look into it. We can have our discussions of what we think happened there, but don't tell me how to feel about something that's been done to my people.
Yeah.
And one of the comments, I didn't get the screenshot. I tried to go back and find it, but child, you know, after all the other tweets flew in. The person said something to the effect of, he never said he was just walking around looking for a black person. He was just looking for anybody to get his anger out on. His story literally
he said black person.
In quotation marks, black bastard, bitch. So,
yeah. So,
I don't know where you got your story from.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to see the good in him, because again, I don't believe he's racist either.
I
but
don't think
let's
he is.
defend him in a way that is going to be actual,
but
able to stand up.
let's not tell lies. You
Yeah.
know, let's not, let's look at the facts. That's what he said. He said he knew what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think when he said that, I think that was all from anger. It wasn't from racism. If they would have said, I think if she would have told him instead of a black man, an Asian man, he would have been looking for an Asian man. If it was a white man, he'd have been looking for a white man. Or if it was I don't know, tall, pimple, redhead, whatever it was, it would have been that person. So it's not, I don't think just because it was a black man, it was like blind fury, so I think he was just using that specifics because that's what he was specifically looking for at that time. Because that's, I'm sure in his mind, he probably associated every black man he saw as probably being that rapist. So that's just, I mean, that's trauma, so that's just how it is. And it's bad that it came out like that.
It is bad.
But,
I think it's even worse just because when you think about it, like, he could have actually gotten what he wanted to do and kill some fucking body.
Yeah. But he didn't.
He didn't, which is good. And he realized his actions. He moved on. Now, one of the celebrities that I saw that tried to defend him was Michelle Rodriguez. This irritated me because I do agree with her again that he's not racist, but the reason why he's not racist is what's stupid to me. Okay. She said, it says, Michelle Rodriguez says Liam Neeson kissing style shows he's not racist. I'm going to read you her whole thing.
Okay.
Racists don't make out with the race they hate, especially in the way he does with tongue, so deep down her throat. Actor Michelle Rodriguez said, defending Neeson, Liam Neeson had been under fire. Okay, this is just talking about the thing. But she said that about the kiss because he was in that movie Fences? Not Fences. Oh my God. I can't think of the name of it, but it's that one with this Viola Davis in it. Viola Davis, I mean.
Are you talking? Is it that
Windows.
widows?
And not widows. Is it widows or windows?
Is it widows?
I know,
because their husbands die.
Well, I didn't know what the plot of the story was. I didn't saw a name.
Yes, widows.
But they show this is her kissing him, which does not look attractive in the least bit. So, but my thing is,
but he was getting paid to do that, girl.
I was saying, like, you're gonna say that it'd be different if he was with some black woman and was just making out with her.
I'm sure he didn't.
This is a movie that he got paid to act in, and you're like, oh, people don't just kiss like that.
With tongue.
Well, my thing is, there are plenty of people that did kiss like that with tongue and raped a bitch while they were racist. So that's not really a defense in any way, shape, or form.
There are straight men that play gay roles.
Yeah.
So, really, girl, let's not. So, yeah, that was stupid. But I only have one story that I really, really want to talk about. Mm-hmm. It's about Ariana Grande, who's my bitch.
Grande.
First of all, I want to say, album came out today. Marvelous. But this is about the Grammys. I
did see that. I didn't read the story, but I saw the headline for that.
So basically, she's supposed to be at the Grammys.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy, I can't remember his name. I think his name was Ken. I have it right here. Ken Elrich, or however it's an odd spelling. But anyway, however you say it, basically he talked to some newspaper article or whatever. He the Associated Press. That's who he talked to. Mm-hmm. And it was like they were asking about Ariana and why she backed out of it. He was like, as it turns out, when we finally got to the point where we thought maybe it would work, she felt it was too late for her to pull something together for the show. And it was too bad. She's a great artist. So basically saying that the reason why she didn't know, she thought she didn't have enough time to make something. Mm. And so Ariana was like, no, boo. She said, I've kept my mouth shut, but now you're lying about me. Said, I pulled together a performance overnight, and you know that, Ken. It was when my creativity and self-expression was stifled by you that I decided not to attend. I hope the show is exactly what you want it to be and more. Ooh. She said,
I don't understand why they would tell that lie.
Like, this is not the day and age. I mean, it'd be different if this was like, before social media where people couldn't really get on Twitter and clap back. Yeah. But this is not the time. People,
not the time at all.
People are calling you out, bitch. And then she also said, I offered 3 different songs. It's about collaboration. It's about feeling supported. It's about art and honesty, not politics, not doing favors or playing games. It's just a game, y'all. And I'm sorry, but that's not what my music is to me. Mm-hmm. And then she said, I passed the Grammys bus with my face on it while I was typing this. So she was like, y'all need me more than I need y'all. Basically.
Why is her face still on it?
Because she's supposed to be there. So they had already made all that stuff. And so she basically they wanted to tell her what to perform, mm-hmm. And of course she's like, no, Is
that normal though? Because I'm like, I don't see. Maybe for lesser artists, maybe they'll tell them.
I feel like first of all, she's like right now she's got the #1 single, mm-hmm. in United States. She's had 2 number 1s back to back, mm-hmm. and she's really hot right now. I feel like that's somebody you really need. Somebody like that to pull in people. And I know a lot of people. I don't know. I asked my mama today, and I was like, "Are you going to see the Grammy?" She's like, "I don't like nobody's performing." I know other people dropped out too. I think Drake dropped out. Who else? Damn. I read this, but y'all, this is a long ass article. I read this earlier today, but it was basically like Drake dropped out, and I think somebody else dropped out. Like, and then they've been having a lot of issues with the Grammys. Like people just having issues with them, I guess, and don't want to be a part of it. And a lot of people just ain't coming. Mm-hmm. And then apparently, because last year it was apparently an issue with Lorde, where she was supposed to perform at the Grammys, but they didn't want to give her a solo part. They only wanted her to sing in a Tom Petty tribute. Oh. And she was like, "Oh no!" And then so she didn't come. And apparently, I think last year,
Grammys gonna fuck around and have nobody there.
Yeah, the last year that there was an issue where hardly any women were getting nominated for the big awards, mm-hmm. And so this year they had brought in a whole new staff or something to try to help get them to where they need to be, but apparently they still ain't there. So, like, the Grammys is really going downhill as far as, whatever, artists want to go. Because, I mean, I know I wouldn't want to perform at the Grammys if they're going to tell me what to sing.
Yeah.
Or say what my set list is.
I feel like it usually is that they have you perform whatever one of your latest tracks are.
Well, she wanted to perform Seven Rings apparently, but I think they didn't want her to, and they wanted her to do a medley, and she didn't really want to do that, and it was just a whole bunch of crap, and I was just like,
Seven Rings is like one of the biggest songs right now. Like, why would you?
It's number one right now.
What I wouldn't want her to do is come out there with 2 Chainz. That's what you don't do, or whoever the fuck was on the damn remix. Keep him where he at.
It sounded like he rolled somebody's short butts.
I was like looking like, oh, the remix. Who on the remix? I saw 2 Chainz there, and I was like, this is not about to be good.
Child.
Didn't even sound like my opinion with music. When you have a song that's going to be remixed, it never sounds good to me unless you have made that song with the intention of with this artist already being on there. Like when you're adding a rapper. So like if Ariana had wrote 7 Rings and had intentionally that doesn't mean to be good, but it would sound a bit better in my opinion. Mm-hmm. If she had the intention of like, oh, I'm gonna write this and I really want 2 Chainz to be on here. And then she had a whole little section blocked out for him. They could go back and forth about the lyrics, I guess, and move on from there. It sounds like it flows more. But when you put out a song and then a little bit later we have a remix version of it, it always sounds off. Well, it always sounds like this is just half-assed. I'm gonna go write this real quick and throw this out.
Well, that's what that was, because a lot of those bars didn't make no sense. They were just stupid. My thing is, and I miss the days of remixes when somebody came out a remix was a completely different song. Yeah. It was something that was completely different. Sound saving, got a different beat. Instead of just throwing a rapper in it. Mm-hmm. Do that. If you want to put out a remix, do that. At least you put some type of creativity into it. Yeah. Because I used to love the J-Lo remixes. Used to love the Mariah Carey remixes. It's like something come out and it's a completely different song. And so get back to that, Ariana. Do that. Not Rihanna. Not Rihanna. Rihanna, you don't have to make no more music. I'd be fine. But
I really would be too, to be quite honest.
Not to say that, but I don't say that because I don't love her music, because I do. But I say it because I feel like it's not even her passion anymore. I feel like if she comes out with an album, it's just because she feels the need to do so.
It's gonna be fan service.
Yeah,
that's literally what's gonna be.
I feel like her passion is fashion.
It really isn't, and she's good at it. She's, in my opinion, a lot better at it than with her music, because I feel like she has more passion for that. I feel like music, where she may have wanted to do it for a long time, but I feel like the energy that she puts behind her makeup brand and her clothing,
and the way she talks about it,
when you
can tell
it's always about watch an interview of anybody talking about something that they are doing. Yeah. And you can always tell the person that is like really passionate about their shit. And when she talks about her makeup and stuff, child, you can't tell me she's not in her own world. She never talks about her music like that. She doesn't. Because for one thing, she doesn't write her music. Mm-hmm. So not to say that, that she doesn't have any input or anything, but, I feel like she has her. I feel like she dips her toes, ankles, feet, calves, kneecaps into her music, and not her music, but her makeup and her fashion, and it shows. It definitely shows. By the way, she's always putting up tutorials. She's always talking about it. She's always doing stuff that you never did. You saw her do things like that for what is it? Her music.
Yeah, because, you never saw behind the scenes of her music. You never saw her in the studio. You never saw her. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was just gonna. I don't think I'd care to see it. I mean, not like what. I mean, to see what? Watch them auto-tune her voice.
I was gonna compare this to Beyonce, not because of any feud or anything like that between them, but I was gonna compare it because Beyonce, she's very passionate about her music. You can see it in every interview that she does, and she's always recorded behind the scenes. When she used to do them, you always see it with her behind the scenes shit. She always has things going, like when she makes 15 million videos for stuff. Like you can tell that this is what she loves to do. Yeah. And I don't see that really from. I don't really see that from a lot of other artists either. But speaking on Rihanna, I'm only saying that because you could from going from that. Like, that's what I would see her as being very passionate about. Like, she's always putting that behind the scenes. She's always talking about this music. She's always doing these kind of things. You don't see that until we hop over to makeup and fashion. Yeah. When we hop over to that, she's doing everything she can. to show you the shit, bitch. And I think it's definitely good because she, especially being so passionate about it, I'm sure it felt really good for her to come out with that makeup line, her foundation, and off jump was the standard.
Yeah.
Fenty Beauty came out and was the fucking standard.
It's just crazy. Fenty Beauty came out and everybody was like, this is how you do it. Everybody else needs to fall in line.
Inclusive. You shouldn't have to. This is going to tie into a story that I was wondering if I wanted to talk about, but I'm going to bring it up anyway.
Okay.
But when you're dealing with, because of course she's a black woman, when you're dealing with, for years, you don't really have a foundation in your color when you go to the stores. Like we talked about before, I go to the store, I'm always the last foundation. I'm not nearly the darkest black person. But when you deal with that for all your life, and then we're steadily getting better. I'm not going to say it like she just started the trend completely, but there have been brands that had it before her, but they had to work up to that point. Rihanna came out and had, what was it, 40 shades or was it 45? Whatever it was.
She had 40.
She came out with 40 shades.
And now she has 50.
And yeah, she has all of those 40 shades when she first came out, everybody was included. You had your lights, your mediums, your darks, your deep
And not
darks.
only that, she has 50 shades of concealer.
Yes.
Nobody. I never see it. People normally have like 10 or 15.
Yeah.
Is 50.
And you gotta fit in where you got to on that shit.
Right.
But she came out with those 40, and this is where I'm gonna tie this into Tarte, because Tarte decided to, a year later, come out with their releases of with their extended line of, what was it? It was called Shape Tape before. Shape Tape came out and they had a certain amount of colors. They had 50 million white shades, 3 dark people shades. And it was like it was jumps, bitch. It was like light skin, medium, or light skin, dark skin, deep dark skin.
Deep, and it was it.
Yeah, you had
those three colors.
Those 3 colors were for those 3 types of people. But then before that, you had
nothing but white people.
White all down the line. You had white every tone.
You had alabaster, eggshell.
Had maybe a little bit of tan. All this shit. And I forgot how many shades it came out with originally. I want to say it was like 30.
It wasn't a lot.
I think it was 30 because it was 10. No, it was 15 for the matte formula, and then 15
I
for
forgot, they had 2 different formulas.
Dewy one. And so they had those shades, and they were like, once people went off on them, which I don't see how you wouldn't. How are you in the lab making this, and nobody has said?
But to be honest, it's like they had to be beaten into submission. I feel, in order for them to even come out with what they have now. For one thing, it's a whole year later.
A whole year later, and I don't think it's lost on anybody that y'all decided to do this on Black History Month.
Yeah, but with that, it was like people, clapping back about it. They were like turning off the comments. They were ignoring comments. They weren't saying anything. They weren't acknowledging people.
Speaking of comments, pay attention to this. I don't follow Tarte, but every time something pops up, and I'll go check their timeline. If Tarte does, I don't know if any other makeup brands do this, but I know Tarte does. If you ever notice a scandal happening with Tarte, like the Tarte Shape Tape shit, when that was happening, what they do is they offer a giveaway of some kind, and they say spam our comments with whatever emoji.
So you
don't
see all. But I feel like it's going to be the same
tape,
thing.
And I noticed it with another thing because there was this black girl who was advertising Tarte, and they had took like some of their beauty influencers to whatever island, and this black girl was in. Everybody was like, "You really standing behind this bullshit, girl?" And what I mean, if she getting a check, bitch, and a trip, I stand there and talk about it when I get back home. That's my opinion. But they saw her getting attacked in the comments and told people, "Oh, put cherries for this, blah blah blah, and you'll be entered for a chance for this giveaway." Didn't see none of that shit. You had to like scroll deep to find anything. And I'm like, that's a very strategic thing, but I just want people to watch out for it. If you're listening to this and if you notice that, like I said, especially with Tarte, I don't know about anybody else, go to their comments and or go to their page and just see how everything is riddled with a bunch of shit. Like, don't want you to hear anything or see anything.
I don't know a lot about Tarte. When I first started hearing about Tarte, it was from Bunny, Graveyard Girl. And that was years ago. I never really cared to use Tarte because it's very obvious from the get-go that was not for us.
Yeah.
I mean, just when they would come out with their eyeshadow palettes, when they would come out, it never looked like anything we could wear. Anything that I would see.
Yeah.
So I wasn't shocked by the shade range.
They did it again.
They did it again.
So
because people popping up about these damn colors.
What I tell you, a giveaway.
Another giveaway.
And they want you to put a purple heart in the comments, so to enter for a chance to get whatever all this bullshit is. Mm-hmm. And just look at these comments. Since I can click on it, purple hearts.
Just go ahead and drown it all out.
That's what they always do. And I feel like that's very clever marketing. Like if you don't want that shit on there, because if you turn off the comments, you're definitely admitting that you've done something wrong because you're getting blasted for it. Instead of correcting it, you're like, let me turn these comments off. Let's touch people down a little bit. Yeah. But my thing is, when you do shit like that, you then have to go turn off the comments way back when, because what people will do is just go find another message or another picture. Yeah, they got to keep looking.
So because people are relentless. I think that, like I said, I never had any intention to use Tarte. I knew that it wasn't for us. It was very clear. It's just, you look at the colors and the shades. I know any palette that I've seen, and I haven't seen too many, but I remember the ones that I used to see Bunny use. I'm like, girl, none of these gonna show up on me. And I am not a dark-skinned person. So I was like, girl, y'all pale-faced bitches, y'all use that. I can't use that. And I'm just like, whatever. I feel like it's okay if that's their target audience. Bitch, I'm fine.
Stay with it.
I don't need Tarte. I have plenty of foundation.
Different options, and I don't. So they came out with these extended colors, because that's what we were starting off saying, is that they came out with the 30 shades, and now they have 50.
I think they have like 50 or 60.
Yeah, they have 50 shades now, and the 50 shades now include more shades for people of color. Yeah. Now that's all fine and dandy. Thank you, or. You should. I'm not going to say thank you because it was an afterthought. And it was an afterthought because you did it after the initial launch.
My thing is these colors, not thank you now, because we have options.
Yeah, we do.
So we don't need you, bitch. Everybody found their shade somewhere else. They don't need Tarte.
They really don't. And the thing is with Tarte is that I remember when it first happened last year, they were like, oh, well, companies always come out with more shades after the initial launch just to go in. He was like, and then these are much lighter because it's the wintertime, and our shades get we tend to be lighter in the wintertime.
Well, I'm sorry, black people don't turn white in the wintertime. We had 3 black shades, bitch.
I think he just needed to say something. He should have just shut the fuck up is what it was.
I'm sorry, bitches ain't getting more than a shade lighter.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, we ain't fucking bleaching our skin in the winter. So I don't know at what point. Like I said, if you look at those swatches, that was all white shades except for the last 3.
Exactly.
All white shades. So there is no way for you to sit up and act like, there's nothing wrong with coming out with a minute. 15 is fine. But if you
divide that 15 up evenly, and you won't get called out.
Yeah.
If there were 3 white shades, 3 medium shades, 3 deep dark, and 3 what is it? 3 light, medium, deep, and then deep dark. If you had 3 each, people would probably complain like this is a very low shade range, but it's fair.
It's fair, yeah. Y'all, there's nothing wrong with coming out with 15 shades and expanding later. I can understand that you don't want to put all your coins in at once if you don't know if everybody's going to into it. So sure, but I mean, at least be fair. Don't sit up and make it only for white people and then want to be like, oh well, we'll add y'all black niggas in later.
Yeah, and people kept on. I remember people were like, oh, it's not an afterthought. It's not an afterthought. You thought about it and said that it was going to be after the initial release. That is a fucking afterthought, bitch. I don't care what you say. Then y'all released it on Black History Month, and none of the black people are really here for it, because what you should have done, I don't see why it took you a year to come out. I don't know nothing about making makeup, but I don't see how it took you a year to come out with just a few more shades. I don't think
it's a big deal that it came out a year later. It's how it was done, how they did it, and also the launch. Just that shade range was atrocious.
It was.
And
that's why I was talking about Fenty Beauty, because Fenty came out with the 40 shades, and she may not have had everybody as far as undertones go, but at least your shade was there. Usually if your undertone is not there, depending on how the undertone is in the one that's closest to you, you can finagle it with contouring or highlighting. Yeah. So nobody's really upset about that. But again, nobody was clocking her for it because it was fair. Everybody had the same amount throughout the whole damn thing. And then when you have something like that, nobody's pressuring you to release more shades. When you do it after the fact, like you said, she came out, she now has 50 shades of Fenty. That's just a plus now. Now more people with varying undertones have more options now.
Yeah.
That's what you want to strive for. Strive for getting everybody, as many people as included as you can the first time in a fair amount, and then be like, okay, now we're going to work on varying undertones from here. Do that.
Yeah.
Don't do, we're not really sure, or it's harder to mix black people shades. We don't give them 3, and then we'll work on it later on. But the white people got all their shit.
Yeah, we got them. We got them in olive. We got them in neutral, cool, warm, golden. We got y'all set.
But the rest of you bitches.
So y'all just gonna have to wait. And it's just like Morphe, because like we talk about Morphe, and
Morphe had a lot of shades.
Morphe
I
has
don't think
60
their
shades.
Colors were an issue. Their
But it's the
undertones were
undertone.
issue.
I feel like.
And they were clocked for it because it was great.
I'm assuming, I don't know who's the creator of Morphe. I'm assuming more than likely it's a white person.
Mm-hmm.
And I just feel like y'all need to get some black people in the lab.
Not even just black, you need to get people of these
people
varying
of
skin
color.
tones.
People of color, people of these different skin tones. But I feel definitely, because it's a huge demographic that gets left out, is black people.
Yeah,
and I feel like...
Especially with them always saying, that's what a lot of makeup brands say, is that it's harder to make... And Jackie has said it too. It's harder to mix the black foundations because of undertones.
All
and
the
stuff like
different
that.
colors you got to put into it.
Yeah, but my thing is, that should not stop you. If you go into it and you're like, I want to make makeup, and then somebody tells you, oh, but black people shades, just to warn you, are a bit harder to make, and you're just like, okay, we're just not going to do that too much. Then you don't need to make a makeup brand.
No.
You
My
don't
thing
need to do it,
is,
girl.
still at the end of the day, I've seen, for instance, I think it was James Charles. He went to ColourPop, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the labs of ColourPop, and he went through the whole process of making every different thing. I think he made a blush, he made a lipstick, he made foundation, he made all of that. And so in the foundation part, they showed, I think there's like 4 colors that they used. I think it was white, yellow, red, and I think there's another color I can't remember. But it's like those are the main colors. Mm-hmm. And so it's like all they do is mix them. Mm-hmm. They keep mixing them until they get the color. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, get a starting point. Mm-hmm. You can always perfect it.
Yeah.
You can always change it. The thing is put in the motherfucking effort. That's what people want, is effort. If you make
feel like you
effort,
thought about them.
Yeah. And so it's just like any relationship. Mm-hmm. You know, you got to put in the effort. If you want a relationship with your motherfucking customers, put in the motherfucking effort.
Because what I don't want you to do is sit here and you work tirelessly for, let's say that it does take a year to come out with shades. I'll say 8 months, and then you have the time to perfect it a little bit more and then put it out. So in 8 months, what I don't want to see is that, or feel like, is that you took 6 of those months to get your fair and medium shades all down packed. And then when it comes to the deep and deep dark, you're just like, okay, we're going to take 2 weeks off of this, put these out, and what we get is what we get. And we'll make more later on. It's just like, no. Hire you enough staff to work on them all at the same motherfucking time.
It's just ridiculous to me. I feel...
Or people gonna keep getting attacked like this.
Yeah.
The makeup community is not playing with y'all. Once Fenty Beauty came out and they set the fucking standard on launch, on initial launch.
In my honest opinion, I don't give a fuck. Because I've got my makeup.
Yeah.
So y'all can do what y'all want. Tarte, y'all can do what y'all want. Y'all done brought out these shades and talking about what you asked and we listened or whatever.
Yeah, it was like, no, bitch.
I didn't ask. I don't know who asked.
Nobody asked, because what happened is y'all bitched at us and we listened. Y'all cussed us the fuck out and we listened. Because once people saw that, nobody was asking for shades after that point. People were done with Tarte shade tape. A lot of makeup gurus that I watch, white, black, Hispanic, whatever,
are not using
done with Tarte because they're like, if this is what you're doing, I'm not going to be associated with this anymore.
And I'm so great for the people who are not black or not of color, who are standing in solidarity. And we're like, you know what? No, we will not put up with this. They did the same thing with Beauty Blender. Like, bitch,
especially
what are all these
that was
fucking
a whole
medium
different
shades?
issue. It was more of I want to say she had like 5 white people shades, 5 black people shades, and then 40.
One shade. I swear they all look the same. I was like, I don't understand that. I don't get that. Why would you... Me personally, don't ever cater to one demographic.
Yeah.
If you want to be a good brand.
If you want to be a big brand, if what you're going for is like you want to be a,
but if you want to, what's different?
Like Morphe.
If you want to be a big brand, you need to be inclusive. There are brands,
but if you want
that
to be
only
a niche little market where you're just like, well, this is for black people because we don't get enough, or this is for Hispanic people because we don't get enough, or
whatever
this
is for Asian people.
Just know you're not gonna go too far.
Yeah, you're just gonna have that demographic, and if that's, but some people are okay with that. That's what you want, because there are, makeup brands that only cater to black people, and so.
But I think the difference with those things are the smaller brands that do that, because nobody really complains about Korean beauty either, where they only because Korean nobody really over there.
First of all, Korean people. Makeup comes from Korea.
Yeah.
So
stop buying Korean makeup. And expect it to look like
I'm not going to buy Korean makeup. For one thing, I don't look Korean. I don't have a Korean skin tone. Koreans have a specific look. And they cater to them because that's their country. It's just like America. And this is why... This is America. And you have to cater to all these different skin tones because we're all here. It's different if we're nothing here but white people in America. Then make all the white makeup you want. But everybody else, Asian, black, Hispanic, whatever, we're all here.
Thinking about this, I just thought about how this is gonna be just a really quick thought because we got to end this soon. But when we talk about how we go to the store and I was always the darkest shade, thinking back on it now, it's just how sad. Like I never had the thought of like how horrible this was, but I remember there were only like 3 brands that I could really look at that not only was I the last shade, but those were the only ones that even had anything coming close to me. And I remember looking at stuff like Almay. I remember looking at stuff like oh my god, Wet n Wild, and like these other brands like Neutrogena did Neutrogena have a makeup line?
I do not know.
I just remember trying to think of like when I looked up at the top, Rimmel London, all of those people. Yeah. I remember looking at them and I would have to just skip it because it would be nothing but white people shades. Like light and medium. That's all I would ever see. And I'm thinking about it now because I just like have the flashback of everything. I'm just like, how shitty.
It was. Bullshit. And the thing is, we were okay with it because we didn't know any better. Yeah. We didn't have anything else. And I do want to leave this with this thought. Is something that Alyssa Ashley said in the video where she was reviewing this travesty. So she said she is sick, and me personally, Kimo Keo, I am sick of people telling black people or people of color, anybody, that we should feel lucky that we were even thought of and that we should feel happy to be invited to the party. No, we should not just feel lucky. We should not just feel happy. We should not feel okay with a handout. Okay.
Well, that statement in itself means that you think that I'm inferior.
Yeah.
It signifies that you think that I'm a lower being, and because I'm a lower being, nobody needs to think about me, so I should be lucky that anybody thought about me in the first place. So the people that are saying that, in my opinion, I'm not too quick to haul off and say somebody's racist, are racist.
That's racist.
Because that whole statement is just like, bitch, you're not good enough to get nothing anyway, so be glad I thought to put this one shade out for you. That's literally what you just told me.
Yeah.
Not so many words, but bitch, you said it. And like she said, don't tell me to feel lucky about some shit that should have been done right the first time. If you're going to be this big makeup company and you want my money, think about me, bitch. Or else, now that we're in 2019, there are makeup brands doing a lot bigger and better things than you are. If you're going to sit here and you're going to stay steadfast in your belief that you don't need to make this many black people shades or people of color shades, anything past medium, then you're going to be left behind. You're going to be set back, and people are not going to buy your shit anymore. You're going to be stuck with just those white people, and you're going to notice that these brands that are flourishing, like Fenty, are flourishing because they're being fair. I don't know why people feel like black people don't spend money on makeup. I don't understand that thought process. Like, because usually they're keeping it out because they're like, oh, well, these white people are going to spend more money on it. Black people go through a lot of beauty shit, just like any other white bitch. Yeah. I don't understand why you would think that we don't spend money. Again, Fenty is one of the highest selling makeup companies off jump, bitch.
So, next time, listen and learn. Nothing wrong with growing from your mistakes, but no, we are not feeling lucky. Okay, bitch. Because at any time, just like any person, I can take my money elsewhere.
And that's what
And I
happening.
did.
I'm glad that we have so many options in the makeup community, not just for makeup. This is anything where black people are left behind, or people of color are left behind. So I don't want to keep making it just about black people.
It's not just about black people.
When people of color are left behind, now that we've come so far into this, where people these opportunities are being granted out more or handed out more, you have people of color being thought of more, and people of color moving their money to those stores or those companies. And while, like Alyssa actually said, she doesn't want them to stop making or to stop trying to make more. I don't care if you do or not. I would rather you stop trying and get left behind. Because if this is your thought process, I don't feel like you have a place and where we're trying to strive towards.
Just keep catering to the people that you want to carry to. If like I said,
and let's see how that plays out for you.
If that's your demographic, stick with it. Stick with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do what you want. Somebody's going to buy it, whatever. I don't care. I've never bought it. I don't plan to buy it. I don't want it. So whatever. But we'll end that here.
We'll end it on that note. And again, happy Black History Month, all you people. I'm not going to bring up another black topic, probably. Unless some other fuck shit happen. Because I'm just not that person. Like, I'm black every day of the fucking year. I don't feel the need. And I celebrate who I am every goddamn day of the year. Not just black, but being gay, effeminate, whatever the fuck it is. I celebrate that every fucking day. So I don't really feel the need. Like, Black History Month isn't. I'm glad that it's there for people that don't know certain things about historical figures.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it's there, but it's just not something that I am always just like, oh my god, I can't wait for February. Like,
no, because
it's just not that
every day is Black History for me, bitch.
Yeah,
I'm walking, living proof of Black history. Black history made me.
To me, but if some more stories pop up, of course I'm going to bring it up on the podcast. But I just really want to bring those two things up because I'm just like, we just started Black History Month and y'all are trying it.
How they gonna keep trying it? Trump is giving people the ammunition.
He really is, and I can't wait for somebody to get him out of his office.
all the people to assassinate.
But anyway, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Kimo, do you have any departing notes?
You know, do better.
Do better, be better, get better.
What's that song? If you knew better, you would do better.
On that note, bye.
Bye.